for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Real life, real money. Because your real life requires real money to kind of get it going and keep it going. That's why we talk about real money Saturdays right here on Como and on the web, on the podcast all the time. And if you'd like to call and ask an important financially oriented question, here is the number to dial. And by the way, you can dial this number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 855-935-TALK. Talk. 855-935-TALK or 855-935-8255. I am Don McDonald. Been talking about money on the radio for 30 years and 5 months. Wow. 30 years and 5 months. And trying to help as much as I am able keep you from doing something that could be financially painful or even disastrous. Oh, I've had so many disasters come along, and people poo-poo much of what I've said over the years. But the funny thing is, most of it has turned out to be relatively accurate, not because I know anything, but because I've seen the same things over and over and over again. There is lots to be said about the value of wisdom. A lot. And when you do something for a long time, you really see almost everything. So today, I want to spend a little time talking about some of those things. For example, earlier today, I talked to my mom. Phone scams. Oh my gosh, my mom's 82 years old. Phone scams. They target old people. Phone scams. Wait till they target me. Oh, my goodness, I'm going to give them such an earful. 855-935-TALK is the number. Also, stop worrying about the stock market, okay? No, you can't know what it's going to do. No, you don't know that we're going to go into a bear market, nor does anyone else. No, you don't know that there's going to be a recession. You were wrong in the past. You're going to be wrong again. You may be right sometime, but come on. Quit thinking you're so special. It's probably just dumb luck. Really? Do you really think you're that smart that you know the future? In addition, speaking of people who thought they knew everything, you crypto kitties. Have you figured it out yet? I'm just curious. Have you figured it out yet? Yeah, we'll get to that too. What else do I have? Oh, yeah. Great piece in the New York Times today about annuities, an explainer of annuities. It was really very good. It got to the meat of them in a paragraph, which is really hard to do with annuities because they're designed to be so blasted, complicated, and convoluted and just an absolute mess. I'm here alone. I'm alone this week. Tom is off basking in the sunshine in Hawaii, and will be back with us next week. But he's having fun now, and he should. But we're going to have fun, too. So give me a call, 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. And because it is the holiday season, we will have a gift for our callers today. It is we're giving away your first step toward a great financial future, a book that I wrote originally 8 years ago and then redid in 2018. It's even better than it was before, and you will get it absolutely free if you call and you ask a question during the show. We'll just get your phone number, and then someone will give you a call next week to get your address and send you the book. Financial Physics. It is financial physics with an F. It's how money and investing actually work, and it is way too simple to be as complicated as it feels. And I know it feels horribly complicated to you. That's why it is so important that you find someone with whom you can talk about these things and not fear that they're going to sell you an annuity, which I'm not going to do. In fact, I'm not going to try and sell you anything. I'm just going to give you a book with no obligation. So give me a call, 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. And that's free and that's easy. And that number does work anytime. So if you don't call during the show, you can call later. You just won't get the book. But if you call during the show, which is Saturdays, noon to 2 Pacific time, 3 to 5 Eastern, we'll both I will point you in the right direction and point you in the right direction with the book. 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. Love to hear from you, and when we come back, I got a ton of stuff to share with you. Scams, stocks, cryptos, annuities, and more coming up on this program.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
I just recently created a new and massively improved interactive edition of Financial Physics on iBooks, but I don't want to leave out those without an Apple device, although no other platform offers their interactivity. I have, however, created a free static PDF version of Financial Physics with an F that you can get right now at talkingrealmoney.com. That's talkingrealmoney.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Critical information to drive your future, because your future won't be very good unless you have a bunch of money. I mean, you don't have to be filthy, stinking rich, but you're going to need a couple of bucks, because if you're going to retire on just Social Security, you're not going to enjoy life very much. I pretty much guarantee it. 855-935-TALK is our number, 855-935-8255. And because it is the holiday season, it's free book day. If you call in and ask a question on the show, you get a free copy of Financial Physics, my book, 855-935-TALK, the number. And Gene, you're up. Welcome to Talking Real Money. Hello, Gene.
I had an interesting conversation with my brother-in-law a little bit ago, and he threw out a concept that I hadn't heard of or hadn't even considered, but had to do with asset allocation and retirement. And he said that he had heard of, or he was thinking about somebody had presented the concept that, we're talking about allocation between securities and bonds and other things. And he suggested that the Social Security could be basically treated as the bond portion of your investment portfolio. That would be the income stream. I've never heard of that concept before, and
I've heard it a lot, but I've been doing this a long time, and it holds some water in that it can be a replacement for the fixed income nature of bonds. You see, if you're relying on the bond portion of your portfolio for income, you could replace some of that with the Social Security income, and if you can accept more risk, shift those assets over into more growth-oriented investments like equities. However, here's the fly in the mess. It cannot, Social Security, because it is not protecting a hard asset. Let's say, for example, just for argument's sake, you have $1 million in your entire portfolio, and you have determined your risk. You've gone and taken a risk quiz like our risk quiz, and you've determined that you can accept a loss of about 25% in any given year, but no more than that. You really do need to have a portfolio that's not any more than 40% or not any more than 60% bonds. I'm sorry. Yeah, 60%. 60% stocks. I got it reversed. You can't have more than 60%, because even if you look at that Social Security and go, hey, that's providing as much income as the 40% in bonds would, and you go to 100% in equities, now you've turned your portfolio into something that can scare you out of the market because the worst case scenario rises to 45 or 50%.
Okay.
See what I'm getting at? It's not, we can't look at it as just, you don't own bonds, and this is a source of great confusion for investors, and I understand why, because most of the brokerage industry has for years touted bonds as purely an income-generating vehicle. They are not just that in the way I believe you should look at portfolios. They are a means by which to dramatically reduce volatility and thereby keep people invested in the stock portion of their portfolio. So a direct replacement, no. A replacement for income generated by bonds, yes. Does that make sense?
I see. Okay. It's more a psychological thing, it sounds like you're talking
Absolutely. But, that's probably the biggest issue with all of us investing. I have, in the past month or so, gotten more calls and emails from people asking me, what should I do with my stocks right now, than I have in years. Why? Because for years, the stock market's just been going up. So nobody thinks about selling. But when it goes down, they're going, well, should I sell now? It's psychological.
Yeah. Well, I guess my feeling is if it keeps going down, I think it makes it a great buying opportunity.
You have a rare mind, sir. Most people do not think that way, because they think when it's going down, instead of thinking that it has gone down, they think that it is going to go down. When they see it decline, the Dow, which I hate, decline 500 points on Friday, they think, oh, the Dow is going down, like future tense. I don't know what it's going to do on Monday.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Take care. Have a great holiday. 855-935-TALK, our number, 855-935-8255. And Renee, it's now your turn on Talking Real Money.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call. Now,
Glad to do it.
I own small amounts of stock. Is it better to have the certificates that are in your name, or is it better to have them as book entries?
If I was to own stocks, which I will never, ever do again, I would have them in street name. I would have them held at the brokerage firm, because it makes it a whole. It's actually two things. One, it's safer, and two, it's easier. The certificates can get lost, stolen. The process of getting them replaced is onerous. It's a pain in the neck. It takes forever to get the stock certificates delivered. It takes forever to get the stock certificates back into a brokerage account and get them sold. It just is a pain in the neck. And it's also, it's an added expense for the firm. It hurts them some. But let me go back to my original point. I would never own any individual stocks. If I own, and I did it one time, but there's no point in it. The risks are too high, and there's no way I can know which few stocks out of the more than 12,000, 13,000 stocks out there I should own. There's just no way I can know that. I'm not that smart. I don't know the future, so I wouldn't own individual stocks at all. I'd own really diverse mutual funds. But if you're going to own them, I'd keep the certificates in street name. Okay.
And is there a mutual fund that
I'm a huge fan of a fund, because if you're going to invest on your own, you don't need an advisor. You're going to reduce your risk. Let's say you take all your stock certificates, you sell them, and you put all that money into one fund. Well, the one fund I'd probably use would be the Vanguard Total World Stock Index Fund, because it owns thousands and thousands of companies. So what you'll get is the return of the stock market as opposed to the incredible volatility of individual stocks. And it costs almost nothing. It's dirt cheap. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You're really welcome, Renee. Thanks for being a part of the show. 855-935-TALK is our number, 855-935-8255. That Vanguard Total World Stock Index Fund, by the way, too, Vanguard has decided to lower their, it's a very competitive industry right now. Vanguard has decided to lower the fees on their funds. What they had two classes. They had the investor class and the admiral class. And the investor class required a $3,000 contribution, and the admiral class required a $10,000 initial purchase. Well, now it's $3,000, and all of the funds get charged as if it was the admiral class. And we are talking a tiny fraction of 1% in annual expenses, when many active funds I mean, most active funds are around 1. Many can be 2 or 3%. Ridiculous.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
You know you need investing and financial advice to enjoy a better future, but you have no idea where to get it, right? The one thing you need most, you're probably missing, and that's a plan, because most of the financial services industry is concerned with making the next high commission sale instead of spending the time to understand your needs and fears. If you're looking for a 100% pure fiduciary, and we'll put that in writing, low-cost, fee-only advisor who puts you first, give Vestory a call at 800-386-3004. That's 800-386-3004, or visit us online at Vestory, VESTORY.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
And by the by, if you are a young investor, you are young. You are a young person. And by young, I mean you're under 50. Because you still have a lot of time. You really shouldn't be tapping your investments until you're in at least mid-60s, 70s. Try to work a little longer. You'll have more money. But if you're younger, and even younger than that, oh my gosh, when the stock market is falling, you should be out there cheering and throwing all the excess money you can into your Roth IRA that's invested in the global stock market. You should be excited when the market goes down because it gives you this opportunity to get more for a lot less. It's good for you. It's terrible if you're retiring, and that's, unless you're a very risk-tolerant person, and that's why your portfolio needs to be right for your risk tolerance and the point in life based on how you feel. It's all about emotions. 855-935-TALK is the number. Get an answer. Get a book. Hey, it's a good deal. 855-935-8255. And James, you're next. Welcome to Talking Real Money. Hey, James. James.
Yes, hi.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, no, I just had a question. I've been kind of doing some research about paying down the principal on the mortgage of my home with a HELOC loan. Is that
what?
Go ahead.
What? Why would anyone suggest that?
Well, I've just seen it on the internet where you're paying down the principal of the HELOC and then you're paying off the HELOC because of the interest rate on the HELOC is calculated on the daily average balance, whereas the loan amount on your mortgage is, once you use that money, it's gone. But on the HELOC, as you pay it down, you can continually pay off the principal.
This sounds like somebody trying to sell. Yeah, it sounds like somebody's trying to sell home equity lines of credit. Couple of problems. The biggest one that I see is that generally home equity lines of credit, HELOCs, are offered at a higher rate over the life of that loan than the average rate on a fixed rate 30-year mortgage or even 15-year mortgage. What's the rate on your mortgage?
4 1/8.
Oh my gosh. What rate are they offering you on the HELOC?
Well, I haven't actually gone out and looked at the HELOC. I was just looking on the internet about people who are paying it down.
Let me tell you, that HELOC is going to be at least that for the teaser rate, but it adjusts. Now, I don't know what the future holds, but which do you think is more likely, that rates are going to fall a lot or rise?
Well, it looks like we're in a rising rate market now.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know for sure, but there's only really 4 points for mortgage rates to fall, and there's almost an infinite potential for them to rise. Right. I wouldn't want to have a loan that was tied to a variable rate when you can get 4 1/8. Now, paying off your mortgage, if you were going to invest the money somewhere safe, that might not be awful. But even then, I would say, how old are you, James?
49.
The best strategy for you is to keep that mortgage, pay it. And here's another question I bet you can't answer, but do you think you might plan to spend the rest of your life in that house?
No, I'm not planning on that. So
then that's an even better reason not to pay that thing down quickly. Don't bother. This is a terrible idea. One of the worst ideas I've ever heard. If you have extra money and you think, I'm going to pay down my mortgage, don't do it. Put it toward your investments, your Roth, your 401k, whatever that might be. Build those retirement assets and keep your capital dry. Keep your gunpowder dry. Okay? And don't get a HELOC. You'll pay way too much.
Paying an extra payment per year on the mortgage, is that a good idea or not?
Not in your case. If you plan to live there the rest of your life, yes. But let's say it's, $2,000 a year. Well, that $2,000 a year over the many years you have until retirement will probably add up to, invested in stocks, in fact, I know should add up to, unless the market tanks forever, a lot more money than you'll have in the equity in your home. It makes no financial sense. You've got a great rate. Stick with it.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Just as there are basic laws that govern our physical world called physics with a PH, there are also basic rules and concepts that impact our finances and investments. I call them financial physics with an F. In fact, 8 years ago, I wrote a book about them. For years, I've wanted to create an interactive version of that book to help readers better understand the concepts. So, since it was time for an update, I turned financial physics, with an F, into a special interactive multimedia version only on iBooks. It's the only platform that allows that. Because I want everyone to have access to this information, I decided to give this version away. Yes, it's totally free. So if you have a compatible Apple device, go get your copy of the new interactive book, Financial Physics, on iBooks. It's totally free, and it's available right now in the iBooks store.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
855-935-TALK, talk, 8255, the number. Give me a call. I'll try and help you manage a money issue, a financial issue, an investing problem, save you a little grief, save you some money, make you some more money maybe. But you got to call, and because it is the holiday season, you get a free book, too. You get a free copy of Financial Physics, the book I wrote many years ago and then rewrote recently. 855-935-TALK, but you have to go on the air and ask a question during the live show. 855-935-8255. Ran some numbers, just quick numbers during the break for James, between paying off the mortgage, putting that extra payment toward it. That putting that extra payment toward a mortgage can make sense if you plan to stay in the house. It gets it paid off sooner. Absolutely. It saves you interest. But you will make, I just like paying it off paying a mortgage off an extra $2,000 a year will save you on a 4% mortgage about $40,000, $41,000, somewhere in that ballpark. But putting it into an investment portfolio that has the potential to grow at 8%, which is a far cry from the stupid 12% that some people say on the radio, which is just not likely. But 8% is a more realistic number based on history. If you do that, you're looking at $20,000 more made than you saved. That's a lot. So I just don't know it's worthwhile. 855-935-8255 is the number. Top of the show, I mentioned that I spoke with my mother today, like a good son, and she called me. She goes, I've been getting these calls all day from Apple. And I said, yeah, they're scams. Well, but they tell me there's a problem with my account, and it's from Apple tech support, and they give me the option of pushing the button, but I hang up on them. I said, good. That's exactly the thing you should do. Now, how do I know these are a scam? Because Apple's not going to call you and tell you that you have a problem with your account first. In fact, nobody's going to. Here's what they're going to do. This is so common, and I can't believe people fall for this. Stop falling for this stuff, okay? Here's what they're going to do. Oh, you have a problem with your account. Press 1 to talk with someone. They want you to talk with someone. It used to be they could fish for this stuff via email. They cannot do that anymore. It doesn't work as well, and there's a reason for that. It's because Apple and many other companies have installed two-factor identification. So what they do is they call you up. They say, oh, yeah, your account, it's been we think your account's been compromised. A lot of accounts were compromised. What's your Apple ID? You give them your Apple ID. Okay, let me just see here. And what do you have for a password on that account? We don't have access to that, so I'll need that. Okay. Now, you'll see, do you have an iPhone or an iPad, or is it a computer? iPhone. you're going to see a message pop up on your iPhone saying that someone's trying to access your account. That would be me. And you just go ahead and click yes. And then would you go ahead and give me that 6-digit number on the screen? If you give them all of that, they have just accessed your Apple account, which is like accessing cash. Because in that account, attached to that account is a credit card. And that credit card can be used to charge up. What are they going to do with it? What do you think? They're going to buy Apple gift cards or iTunes gift cards. And they're going to immediately turn around, take that code, and sell it on the internet and make a fortune before you ever find out you were hacked. You were scammed. Please don't let these people get into your accounts. Now, of course, somebody somewhere is going to make you whole, but the problem is these people know that nobody's likely to come after them. A lot of them aren't even in this country. So just hang up. Hang up, hang up, hang up. The IRS is not going to call you and tell you you owe taxes. My mother told me about another one. She goes, a couple weeks ago. Now, she says, I know this one. She goes, I got a call from somebody who goes, hi, Grandma. She goes, hi. Now, she has like 13 grandchildren and great-grandchildren. It's more with the grandchildren. Anyway, hi, Grandma. I have a little problem and I need your help. Who is this? It's your grandson. What's your name? Michael. I don't have a grandson, Michael. I was kidding. It's really Daniel. She didn't fall for that either.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Keeping the podcast breaks as painless as possible is my goal. That's why I want to very quickly tell you about the only magazine I've ever heard of that is 100% real investing all the time. There's no business news, no speculative advice, and certainly no lifestyle stuff. It's called Real Investing Journal. I publish it every quarter, and you can get 2 full years for only $25 at realinvestingjournal.com. That's realinvestingjournal.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
855-935-TALK. The number 855-935-8255 to talk about your real money, your real life, your real issues, the real problems you run into, the concerns you have, the questions that come up, and I promise you, I will give it to you straight. I kind of known for being a little blunt sometimes. 855-935-TALK, but I'll be nice about it. I think. Give me a call. Danielle, you're next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much for answering my call. I love you guys. I listen to you, but I think I didn't listen to you well enough.
Oh, Danielle, what happened?
We have an investigation going on with Sean Peel.
I don't know him, but, I know the name. Yes, I do.
Yeah, he's got a radio show, and I transferred a bunch of money to whatever he's offering. I don't even know. I'm trying to look for all my documentation. I can't find it, but I really feel like I'm really scared.
What do you think you're in?
Maybe an annuity?
Well, let me just look here. Yes,
okay.
I think that's probably what you're in. Yes.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. But let me do some more looking here. Hold on, I'm on the wrong page, but I need to get to this one. Bear with me. I just kind of look stuff up as I'm going.
Oh, thank you so much.
Bear with me. I just have to find. I know I've seen that somewhere. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and let's look. Nope, that's not
Sean.
It. That's not it. That's
SHON.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find him.
Well, anyway, they're investigating him, I guess, and
who's
some other people.
Who's doing the investigating?
Okay, let me get that paper. Sorry, I have a really long hallway.
Are they out of Spokane?
He is in Spokane.
Yeah,
but it's
I thought he was out of Spokane. Yeah.
It's the Department of Financial Institutions Security
really?
Division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's seriously being investigated by the big guys then. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Language. Gotta watch the language on the show. I don't know what we do, but, you probably, I don't have all the information. That is a serious investigation. You want to cooperate with the investigators as much as you can. If it's a lot of money, if he is actually being looked at by them, I would suggest that you contact a very good securities attorney. Someone who, if it's a lot of money, as a matter of fact, if it's a lot of money, call us at our office on Monday, and we can give you the name of some folks who do this, because we know a couple of them in the Seattle area who are quite good at this. But you probably have some things that aren't as good as they should be. May not be a total disaster, but here's the trick from now on. This is for everybody. Call first. Call before. If you've listened to us for any time at all, you know the only reason I told her to call the office is to get a phone number of a lawyer. We don't try to sell you anything. We don't sell annuities. We don't sell stocks. We don't sell mutual funds. We don't get commissions. We manage money for some people, but we don't even think we're necessarily the only ones who could do that well. We'll give you the names of other advisors who can do a good job for you if you call us on the show or go to talkingrealmoney.com. But before you find yourself in a situation that you're going to regret, probably 9 times out of 10. Really, that's how bad this industry is. The financial service industry is corrupt to the core. In about, I don't know. Corrupt, I probably give it 50 or 60%. Incompetent, I'd probably give it 80%. Not fiduciaries all the time, 99%. And the pitches are good. The pitches sound good. Make a lot of money. Take no risk. You'll be fine. It's gonna be good. It's not necessarily gonna be good. And anybody who tells you they can give you something with no risk and high returns is lying through their beautiful capped teeth. 855-935-TALK is the phone number, 855-935-8255. Ione, you're up. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi there.
Hey.
I have a stock market person, or not a brokerage.
A broker, yeah.
Initials MS.
I've heard of them. Yeah, go ahead.
So we had $250K, and she invested it in a CD for us, and it was 2.2% because we couldn't decide what we wanted to do. We're getting ready to retire, and we've been so busy making money, that we haven't necessarily always used the plans that are available. So right now, that CD is done. So she's going to put it in a money market at 2.3%. But she'd like
that's
to
a really high rate money market. Wow.
Yeah, and we were okay with that.
Yeah.
But she'd like to take $30,000 to invest in some assortment of stocks. One of them is Boeing, and I can't remember what the other two are.
No, do not buy individual stocks. Period. No, don't do it.
Yeah, I heard you earlier. And that's the reason why it made me call, because I'm not one that calls on radio shows.
Well, I'm glad you did. Let me give you a couple of examples. I mean, Boeing is a big company. Yeah, they probably will do well, probably. But have you ever heard of a company called General Motors? It's a big car company. You've heard of them, right?
Yeah.
People in the 90s who invested in them lost everything, every penny, even though GM continues today. Washington Mutual, every penny. Enron, every penny. General Electric is unraveling right now. Companies, any individual company can fall apart.
Well, this is the reason why when you were talking about the Vanguard Whole World or Total World or something.
Total World Stock Index Fund.
Okay.
You don't thousands of stocks.
I'm going to be calling your office on Monday, so I think I'll just tell her to cease and desist and put the stuff into the money market until after we speak with you.
Yeah, what you need. Here's what you need, and nobody gets. We tend to just react. We're very reactionary as human beings. We don't plan well. And you said you'd been doing your job, making money. You're not planning for retirement. Every single soul out there needs a retirement plan. Whether you hire someone to help you with it or you do it on your own, you have to build a plan. And at least that's one of the things that if you do call our guys, they'll just sit down and help you figure out what that plan might be. They're not going to try and sell you stocks or sell you anything, guys and women. So do that. And also, if you want to look at some other advisors for comparison's sake, go to our website. Go to talkingrealmoney.com. We have a button on the front page that will help you find advisors who think like we do.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Your number one financial goal must be retirement. As we live longer, our need for a substantial retirement nest egg has grown. That's why you must have a plan. And to help you map your route to a brighter future, I created Vestory's Better Retirement Guidebook. And you can get a free PDF copy right now at retirebetterbook.com. It's truly free and there is no obligation. So get your Better Retirement Guidebook now at retirebetterbook.com. retirebetterbook.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
And if you're trying to build a really great plan for retirement, we, several years ago, started a wonderful event, an annual event that we do at Vestory called Retire Meet. We do this to help you figure out all of the aspects of retirement planning, Social Security, housing, building wealth, protecting it, all that stuff. It's an all-day event, and it sells out every year. And it's coming up in February, so I want you to get your tickets now while they're on sale at talkingrealmoney.com, talkingrealmoney.com.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately and consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestory, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit talkingrealmoney.com for more information and disclosures. That's a wrap.